think the reason that we self-sabotage and the reason that we keep failing and we keep falling back into our bad habits is because we are so attached to our old self. We're so attached to this person who does the bad habits, who escapes into pleasure in order to dodge pain. I truly believe that getting ahead in self-improvement isn't really about the external things like your physique, or it's about like having a good diet, or it's about running a business. It's about all the inner work that you do for yourself. Because let's really think about it. Like, we all have like some type of traumatic experience. Like, we all have some sort of trauma, good or bad, a lot or not a lot. We all have been through some shit. Everyone's going through some shit. And what we do is we go out through life with this baggage, with this feeling of weight from our past self. Like, we can't seem to get away from the weight from these traumatic experiences or these bad experiences that we felt when we were younger. And so then we walk around and project this out, and it kind of stunts our growth and doesn't allow us to move forward. So how can we actually get away from these past experiences and take the weight off of us so we can actually reach our fullest potential? I'm not gonna sit here and tell you to just move on or just let it go or some fucking bullshit advice, because that's not how this works. It's not. When it comes to these ingrained experiences, it's so much easier said than done for someone to just say to you, bro, just let it go, bro, just, you know what I mean, just live your life. Like, who cares? Like, who cares what happened? Like, that's not how this shit works. The first step into actually releasing your past is to take steps towards building this new life that you want to live. We can't become a new version of ourselves if we are stuck doing the old habits and these bad habits that we do. So we have to start taking steps towards this new life, whether that be going to the gym, eating new food, going to new places, having new friends, getting new experiences, just new, like, a whole new character that you're going to become to get rid of this old self. You know, like, when you want to get rid of your old self, because you're just like, oh, I'm sick of doing this. Like, you can't even look at yourself in the mirror sometimes because you're so ashamed of like what you do or how you do it. Because a lot of times people, and especially nowadays age, especially like in America, a lot of people are just like sad. They just look sad all the time. They walk around like a shell of a human, and it looks like they're just not even living. And so I used to be like one of those people who would just follow, like, I'm just a feather in the wind. I used to be like a shell, like no purpose, no meaning, just doing whatever I felt like doing in the moment. It was just all about pleasure. It was all about feeling good. But once I stumbled upon self-improvement and I wanted to get better, I realized that life is not about that. Life is about experiences, and it's about evolving over time. Like, you're always going to change. You don't realize it, but like, you're gonna have to change eventually. So I'm gonna give you a psychological trick that you can do to release this old trauma or this baggage that's weighing you down. You see, our old self doesn't want us to get rid of him because he wants to be acknowledged, because he's just an emotional person. He wants to be acknowledged. So when we try to ignore him, when we try to ignore these past experiences, we try to forget about it, they're going to come up even louder, and it's going to hurt even more the more that you ignore it and put it off. So what I'm going to do is like walk you through the process of healing the trauma and wanting to heal these baggage experiences or these past experiences. So what I'm going to need you to do is close your eyes. Like fucking actually close your eyes. So what you're going to do first is close your eyes and re-enter a memory that is very uncomfortable to be in. Because we all kind of know in the back of our minds what the experience that we went through. And so keep your eyes closed and start to imagine, start to kind of go back into your memories and enter those memories that were traumatic and they made you uncomfortable. And then what I want you to do is focus on that feeling of uncomfortableness, because that will be the portal into you starting to unravel the process of healing yourself. And so once you focus enough on that point in your mind and that memory, that uncomfortable feeling, follow that feeling and ask your mind, okay, where did this start? Where did this all come from? And then what you'll start to do is kind of, the memory will start to become more vivid. You'll start to understand more of the time, the place, and what happened when you got traumatized or when you had those experiences. Now, once you're in this memory, keep your eyes closed, go to your younger self. Like, you see your younger self in there and kind of like be like an angel to him. Go to him and be like, just give him some practical advice that he needs to hear. Like, you know what you need to hear. So tell him right there and then, be like, yo, like, you need to get better. Like it's okay to feel like this, but I want you to let you know that things are gonna get better. Tell him what he needs to hear. You know what he needs to hear. You know better than I do, but you know better than everyone else what he needs to hear. The most important thing, though, that you need to tell him is that it's going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. You got to like acknowledge him, maybe like psychologically give him a hug. I don't know, but make him feel better. And as you do this, like you'll start to like feel the emotions kind of dissipating, and you're kind of like liberated from the experience, and maybe you might cry it out, you might feel some type of emotion. You can open your eyes, by the way, but this process that I just showed you, you can follow this for all those experiences that you had, those bad experiences that you had, in order to heal. Because like I said, a lot of self-improvement isn't really about the external things, it's about all the inner work that you do to change your character. I've tried the same method with this one moment in my life where it was like one of my top 3 hurts. Like it was one of my top 3 like most like affected negative experiences, and it was like my first ever official like heartbreak. Now I'll tell you right now the story. I was with this girl and I was head over heels for like I think 2 years, and I was dating her, and then she had to go away to like college. She was like in a grade older than me, and what happened is I had to accept the fact that she was like moving on in life, right? And it hurt me because I had to keep moving forward without her. Like we had to break up because she was like living a new life in a totally different area. And so what I had to do is I didn't know who I was. I didn't like she went away, and all of a sudden like I'm left here with just a shell of a man, a shell of a person. And I was 16 years old at the time. Like you might think it's like pretty young, but it was like my first love, I'd say. That experience is like, I remember too, I was in the shower, and this like, you know like how anxiety feels, like it's in the pit of your stomach. And this feeling I had in the shower, like I feel it right now as I'm telling it, but I was in the shower, and that whole day I was just like kind of down in the dumps. I wasn't myself. And in the shower, everything started to like come about. Like I was just like, I was crying in the shower. I had like this like empty feeling in my stomach. It just hurt. It really hurt. And all I remember is coming back into my room, like still like I'm like half wet. I have a towel around me. I sit on my bed, and I literally just sit there, and I just feel like numb. I just feel like so empty. I just sit there with the hurt. Like I feel like it in my stomach, that I have to like accept this fact that I have to move on. And using this method, I went back into that memory and kind of told myself the right things he needed to hear. I said, hey bro, like listen, like things are going to get better. Like you might think it sucks now, but going through this will make you a better person. Like you have to be a better version of yourself going to him. You have to take care of your younger self, because if you don't take care of him, he will rule you. He's the type of person to make you lash out and be reactive, and he makes you want to cope. He makes you do the bad habits because he's just emotional. You have to take care of him. I'm not telling you to like sit down and be all emotional and be reactive. I'm telling you to take care of yourself. This is all about like self-improvement, improving your inner self. Because like I said, self-improvement is all about inner working, the workings of your inner self, your inner narrative. Like when was the last time you had an actual conversation with yourself? Because I believe, like I said, a lot of self-improvement has to do with your inner work. A lot of people, they just jump into these habits and into their goals, but they don't understand who they want to be. They don't understand that the baggage, the past experiences that they had are weighing them down and are stunting them from unlocking their true potential. So once we take off these baggages and we take off these debris that are weighing us down, we get to build a new life. We get to walk through life better and understanding ourselves more. Like you begin to not relapsing as much, or you begin to not doing the bad habits as much, because you've recognized your younger self and you've started to heal. Now at this point, once you go through those psychological tricks to heal your experiences, you gotta start to build up your new life and build up this character that you want to be. Take off all the debris and then build anew. With that too, we cannot let other people control our narrative. We have to control ourselves, because we love to let people tell us what to do. Like we don't ever have conversations with ourselves of like, okay, what are we gonna do? How do we think through things? And what is our actual goals? Because People, they just give you a script for happiness, and then people just follow that. They don't think for themselves. They walk through life, like I said, like in a shell, like a bot, pretty much. And I don't want you to be a bot. I want you to be an actual character. I want you to log into the game and actually go around and play and enjoy it and experience it. So with that, use this process to heal yourself from other experiences, past experiences, and use this method to keep moving forward in life. This is how you get better. It's from doing the inner work. It's not from any external things. It's from the internal things. Using this process has really helped me to get rid of these bad cycles of negativity of mine, because I understood where they came from, and I started to cope in a healthier way. Instead of relaxing on my phone, I'd relax with stretches or yoga, or I'd read a book. You know what I mean? So there's better ways to cope with things, and healing yourself is the first step into greatness. It's the first step into becoming better and seeing progress. Also, too, I have a free Discord and a link in the description that you could join if you want to find like-minded people, you want to join a community. It's completely free. We're all in there talking about leveling up and getting better, and you can join if you want. And with that, continue your journey and keep moving forward.